Shit, I'm all over the place. Sorry. Light on this side, light on this side, light up there. I can take care of that light, but those two lights still kicking. It says wrong. You're wrong. That's what that says. A little bit of news on platinum. Where did I have this? Here we go. Back up to the top. Actually, a lot of news on platinum I want to bring, guys. Let's see. Get down from there, Gandalf. Okay, the platinum market is forecast to move to a nearly 1 million ounce deficit amid in 2023 amid stronger demand from the investment sector and constrained supply from South Africa. The World Platinum Investment Council now expects a deficit of 983 ounces this year, after a 854 ounce surplus in 2022. And let's see, South Africa is the largest producer of platinum in the world by a significant margin, with production amounting to an estimated 140 metric tons in 2022. Russia comes in a distant second for the world platinum production, having produced 20 metric tons in the same year. And then after that, I think it's like Zimbabwe and then Canada. Here's an interesting thing. This forecast says platinum price started in 2023 at 1,086. Today, platinum is 1,082. So the price decreased by 0% basically in the year. The forecast for platinum price end of the year of 2023, they're saying, is at $1,200, which isn't really that bad. It's a 10% year over year. That's a good. Okay, here, why is China buying platinum? China buying removes large quantities of the metal from the European markets as a green energy transition continues. The platinum is widely used in hydrogen electrolysis process to produce an eco-friendly fuel. This factor is also expected to give platinum a big market boost. Now, it's interesting that this column states that China's buying removes large quantities of metal from the European markets, but it doesn't say why China is buying it. Are they buying it only to remove large quantities? Something to research. Will platinum ever be worth more than gold? Well, interesting question. This article says this is because platinum is rarer than gold, has a higher density, and is purer. Platinum rings require more platinum than gold rings. Require gold, which is an increased overall cost. While gold can increase in value, the higher the carat, platinum almost always is worth more than gold. Platinum price forecast for 2025. They are saying the year that South Africa is going to have a leadership role in the G20, 2025, platinum, they say, is going to be at about $1,900. And they say in 2026, it's going to be $2,200. That means within 3 years, your investment's going to double. That's from these people and what they say. I say it'll go a lot faster, but I'm not an economist or anything like that. Okay, Zimbabwe, Canada. Canada's fourth largest producer of platinum. Okay, the World Platinum Investment Council raised its 2023 forecast deficit for platinum to a record high as investors bet on the metal's supply declining. Platinum consumption will outstrip supply by 983 ounces. And that's a shortfall they're going to have to deal with. Ultimately, both gold and platinum have their unique advantages in this investment option. While gold is a traditional safe haven asset with a long history of stability, platinum offers exposure to unique industrial potential, greater returns due to its volatility. And okay, here's something interesting. Back in 2008, platinum hit an all-time high of $2,252 an ounce. This was brought about not only by a weak dollar, but also by production concerns. Okay, people, buy platinum. Okay, Back in March 2008, platinum hit an all-time high of $2,252. This was brought about by not only a weak dollar, but also production concerns due to South African mining power problems. South Africa has power problems today. The dollar is weakening. Platinum could easily go up to $2,200, doubling your money in about a year. Look at history, it repeats. Okay, this is interesting. As far as what is the metal of the future? Titanium. I don't know. I might have to start buying some titanium. Some like fucking titanium rods and shit. Use them as a staff weapon or something. Training. Interesting. And here, within the U.S., there are at least 4 states that contain platinum mining operations. Many mines can be found within Montana, while small operations and reserves are located in Alaska, Arizona, and Minnesota. The value of U.S. platinum production in 2021 was $141 million, which is I think like 14,000 ounces, which is nothing. Okay. Here's some disadvantages, or a disadvantage of platinum. The only disadvantages to platinum are the higher cost and heavier weight. For example, platinum is a great metal for necklaces, bracelets, rings, but not earrings because the heavy weight can pull your earlobes down. Wow, that's a bad thing. Don't buy it. Why choose platinum over gold? While both precious metals are strong, platinum is more durable than gold. Its high density and chemical composition make it less likely to break than gold. It lasts longer. The chemical structure also means that the metal displaces the surface on the surface when it is hit, so you don't lose any of the precious metal. It doesn't chip, crack, or break like gold. Okay, and that seems to be nope. That seems to be all the news I have on platinum. And since nobody's here, and it's been about 8 minutes, and I've already run down the ran through, let's see if I can't make some funny faces in chat. There we go. Everybody buy some silver and some platinum. I just came up with some kick-ass news about platinum. Oh, by the way, ding. That's the platinum. I know y'all already saw it. But I got another 10 gram. Oh, I wish it was 10 ounce. My God. I have another 10 grams. That's a 5 grammer. I've got a 10 grammer coming in the mail in about a week, along with 10 quarter ounce silver coins, which I think is kind of cool. But as far as that goes, I just discovered that information on platinum. And, anytime I discover new information about platinum, I got to talk about it. So I went ahead and did a live stream and figured I'd just go for it, feed you guys that information, even though nobody's here to listen to it. I don't care. Someone will watch it. Like Chris Marcus watches some of my stuff. I mean, it's the first, 8 minutes of the 9 minutes we've been here has been on Platinum News. I think that's pretty cool. I like that he feels that I'm doing good at expressing my opinions to you guys, all 0 of you. Like I care. It would be nice, but par for the course. All right, well, this is a shorty and a sweetie. So I'm going to go ahead and end this one. I gave you the platinum news I wanted to give you. And I just want to let you know that in 2008, platinum went up to 22 something because of the weak dollar supply and the supply of platinum coming from the miners wasn't as much as it should have been or that was anticipated. So they jumped the price up, or the price jumped up to $2,200 an ounce. Right now, it is less than 1,050 an ounce. Hey, what's up, Chris? So we have a weak dollar, and I've already stated on several videos I've done and several live streams the platinum supply is going to be less this year because of the power issues in South Africa. So we have the exact same scenario back in 2008 when platinum jumped to 2,250. Again, that is over twice the price right now. It's actually more expensive. If it jumped that high, it would be more expensive than gold per ounce, because gold doesn't have the same dynamic to make that move. So it's quite possible by the end of this year, platinum could be $2,200-$2,300 and gold be. Well, thank you, Christopher. It's possible gold and platinum might be about the same price at the end of 2023 because of the same reason that. Oh, yeah, it was C4. Yeah, right on, man. Yeah. Oh, you caught me on a live stream. Cool deal. Like I was saying, back in 2008, we had a weak dollar and there were supply issues in Africa for the mining of platinum. And the price went up to $2,250 thereabouts. Right now, it's like $1,030 an ounce. There's supply issues due to power problems, which is the same as what happened. No, they didn't have power problems back then. There were other problems that caused mining issues, but they're still having mining issues that are worse than 2008, and the dollar is weak. So it's a repeat of 2008, and platinum jumped up to $2,250 thereabouts. So basically, if you buy an ounce of platinum right now, there's a very, very strong possibility that you can double your money on that sumbitch while we're in a recession. And it might actually match the price of gold, which would mean the platinum to silver ratio would far suppress, it would double the gold to silver ratio. So if you bought 1 ounce of platinum right now with premium, say 1,100, it jumps up to 2,200. And silver and gold ain't moving that much because they're in different classes or whatever. They're different. There's different things that drive the price. You could trade in your 1 ounce of platinum for like 150 ounces of silver, where the gold, you'd have like a 80 ounce trade in, 80 to 1. So there's a big play to be made for platinum. I'll push platinum. It's not a long-term play, but it's a good medium-term play, 2 to 3 year play. It's not a. Oh yeah, no doubt, Chris. It does. Also, we need to quit thinking like Americans when it comes to platinum, because one thing that actually could change the platinum price as well. Not only does Russia and South Africa mine 95% of the platinum of this world, they're both part of the BRICS nations that are coming up with a new world reserve currency, which means they are economic allies. We already struck at Russia on the economic war front by driving down the price of oil. That hurt their economy. The thing that they could do to us right now to get, tit for tat is to raise the price of platinum, because they control it, yet we set the price. How's that work? If they're controlling it, they have every right to set the price. And if we don't like it, we don't buy it. Well, that's not going to happen because our country runs off platinum, believe it or not. We need a lot of it. Cars, medical equipment, all kinds of things. And no, not just catalytic converters, but for engines and the hybrid cars that are coming out, and this new technology that's coming out, a lot of platinum needed. So they could really slap us silly by just raising the price of platinum because they can. And we are in an economic war. So you can't discount that fact. That could, not saying it will happen, but it could happen because we are in an economic war. And people don't think about economics from a standpoint of we are in an economic war where someone wants to do damage to us in our economy, which will affect your investments. So you got to have the right perspective. And when people say platinum isn't money, well, from America's point of view, that's 100% correct. But from BRICS' point of view, that's 100% wrong. So who's right and who's wrong? Well, quite frankly, BRICS controls the platinum. And if Russia used platinum as money in the past, then by God, platinum can be used in the future as money. They want to back the new world reserve currency with commodities. I guarantee you platinum's going to be part of it, because back in 2010, China invited South Africa to join what was then BRIC, B-R-I-C, and South Africa made this S in it, because they said they had unique resources. And I looked at the list of unique resources China said South Africa had that made them enticed to invite them to join BRICS, and it was diamonds, gold, and platinum. So I know there's several countries that have two other countries, I know it for a fact, have diamond mines. So it's not unique to South Africa. About 70 or 80 countries have gold mines, so that's not unique to Africa. But only one country, other than South Africa, has platinum mines, and that's Russia, and they were already part of BRIC. So by South Africa joining BRIC to make it BRICS, they controlled 93, 92% of all the platinum mining on the planet. And we're in an economic war with them, and Russia did use platinum as money from 1828 to 1845. So it's not an uncommon occurrence for them to say, yeah, platinum is money, maybe not to the Western thought process, but hey, are we here to make money only on the West, or are we here to make money off of the knowledge that we're in an economic war and it's going to be tit for tat, and the other side actually believes that platinum's money. So that changes the game. You got to open up your perspectives and step outside the box. Hey, Thomas. But yeah, that's in the beginning 7 minutes of the stream, I gave a whole crap load of information about platinum. Actually, the whole 7 minutes was only about platinum and different facts about platinum. And the one other fact I did want to talk about was in 2025, they predicted the price of platinum to be, I think it was like $2,250-ish. Well, one interesting thing about 2025 is South Africa is the only country in Africa, on the whole continent of Africa, that is represented on the G20 Council. In 2025, South Africa gets a leadership role. There's 3 countries that control the pathway of the G20 every year, and they rotate. And in 2025, South Africa is going to be sitting in the seat of power of the G20 nations. And there's predictions of platinum being at 2250 by 2025. It could be a lot higher if South Africa, because you see the charts don't say that. Because, why wouldn't you have so many BRICS countries on the G20 commission, to have one of them in charge as you try and make your world reserve currency, and have that one country mandate an increased price in platinum, which they can actually do. You could really do a good bit of damage to the American economy and win that economic war against us. So that's why I push platinum so heavily, because it's going to be expensive. It's going to be expensive. Palladium, Thomas Tubes. The palladium's supposed to be one of the better metals to own this year. It is a platinum group's metal. They just started minting the palladium coin this year. They started minting U.S. American Eagle platinums back in 1997. So it's still a very, 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 very new coin form for the American Eagle. Even though all American Eagles are legal tenders, that does bring palladium into the mix. I'm just not sure about it. There's less of it than platinum, but yeah, and it's more expensive. I don't know. It had its run, I think, already about 10 or 12 years ago. It was in the triple digits, and it jumped up to over 2,000. Holy cow, Hong! That's very early in the morning. Sorry to do this to you. My personal prediction on platinum price is it's going to more than double in 2 years. More than double. By 2025, the beginning of 2025, platinum will be $2,200-$2,300. If not sooner. Thank you for stopping by. Hong, I do know it's late over there, and I do appreciate it. Wealth of Nations. Life is good. I just like I told everyone else, the first 7 minutes of this live stream, I gave a whole bunch of information. Some of it new, some of it regurgitated. Actually, quite a bit of it was new. But apparently, the IWCA or something like that, some international committee, says that by 2024, the price of platinum will be like $2,200. But I was looking around and saw that in 2008, platinum was at $2,200 because we had a weak dollar and there was a supply issue with platinum. And right now there's a supply issue with platinum and we have a weak dollar. So I don't see where it won't go to $2,200 to $2,300 this year, just because the same events are present now that were present in 2008 that drove the price up to 2250-ish. You know, I dare not challenge the price of silver because it's manipulated. So it's just you'd be only giving a guess. No matter what the charts say, you would only be giving a guess because the price is manipulated. Until that manipulation ends, you can't honestly give an assessment or a value to silver, because JP Morgan will just throw out a whole bunch of shorts and kill all the longs again to make money, and that's going to drive the price down. Yay! As long as stuff like that's going to, they got to separate physical silver price from the stock market. Once you do that, you'll get the real price of silver, no matter what the number. I personally, if you do the math from 1981 till to 2023 at 2% inflation, back at the price at $50 an ounce, you're looking at $235 an ounce silver in an unmanipulated market. And then you look back at 1971 and you see the price of silver started out that year at $1.50 an ounce. And at the end of the year, it ended at $15 an ounce because they were in a stagflationary economical environment, kind of sort of like we are now. So there is a pathway, if the price of silver stops being manipulated, for it to 10x its original price of $235 an ounce if it was not manipulated. So it could go to, Keith Neumeyer says triple digit silver. I don't say 4-digit, but I see a pathway that if things go right, it could be $2,500 or $3,500 if certain things happen. But those certain things have to happen. Will they happen? I don't know. So far, they haven't because of manipulation, and that's why I don't like giving out prices. But I do say I see pathways to certain prices if certain things happen, and then I'll give you the reason of if those certain things, what they are. Yeah, no. Here recently, in the next couple of weeks, it might just drop down to 17 again. Bitcoin still has to drop down to below 10,000, and we still have a crash coming. So who knows? Historically, charts show Bitcoin retraces 90% of its earnings to reach its new low. Well, if it did that, it would be down to 6,800 a coin. It was 3 times that was its low, so nothing's bottomed yet. I don't know. Yeah, a lot of us would. $700 platinum's still on the table too. I keep telling people buy now, and you see, I don't bullshit. I don't tell you to buy, and I don't buy. This is a 5 gram. I ordered 10 gram yesterday. I'm buying it. If it drops to 700, I might buy an ounce. That's how I'm looking at it, and that's my enthusiasm over platinum and silver. So, don't like judge me. Oh, the price has gone down. Well, then buy more. Then that $1,000 you were going to spend to get 9/10 of an ounce will get you an ounce and a third. That's my thought process. Don't stop buying, because by 2025, the IWCA says the price of platinum is going to be $2,200. Shit. And if we're in a recession and you want to double your money in 2 years, and that's just going off their speculation. They've been wrong every time they've said something. So. Yeah, exactly. It's a wheels on the bus go round and round. You buy when underevaluated, sell overevaluated, buy underevaluated, sell overevaluated, and that's just the clog in the wheel. It keeps going round and round and round. It gets bigger each rotation, but it still goes round and round. You catch it low, sell it high. Same with metals, everything. Houses. If you do it with houses, why not with metals? It's just a commodity. You're supposed to take profit and value from commodities. So do it. See if I miss anyone. Yeah. And the problem with the precious metals is the premium they put on it. You got to cover that when you go to sell, and people don't look at it right when you buy. Because when you buy, you got to add the premium into the price and say, okay, well, I'm not buying at 25. I'm actually buying at 29 because there's a $4 premium. So you're not going to sell below 29 or you're going to lose your butt. And why only sell at 30, 31, 32? You ain't making crap. At 32, you'd be making 10%. And that's like, what, $2.50, $2? That's not even a coffee hardly. So, just unless you need it, don't sell it. Just keep buying. It's like a 20 under the couch, except for that 20 doesn't devalue like an actual bill would with inflation. It's like this right here. It's my coin. It's just, if I need money, it's there. It's just extra. I don't want to, keep trudging it around in my pocket, so I stick it somewhere. And when I need it, it's there. That's just, fiat change. But the same goes with silver. I mean, right here in my desk, I have a partial stash. Oops. Oh, that fell out. I have a partial stash in my desk. I got a little bit of everything. I even have $1. Yeah, I look at silver as I don't spend all of my money on it to where I'll need it for money. It's like what's left over after I pay bills or whatever, and I have some. I'm like, I'd rather have it in silver than in the bank. Hell, I have cash at the house, not in the bank. So why not have it in silver form? I don't do all of it in silver form. I got, like, well, $1,200 cash somewhere, a couple here, there, and everywhere. I'm actually probably gonna be spending $500 on food tomorrow because that's a great bet against inflation. Wealth of nations, you got it going on. And that's how you do it, Hong. And then you watch the game on TV because the TV gives you better and different angles up close and shit. And you see more, and you don't get elbowed and beer spilt on you, and you can hear in the morning because people aren't yelling. This is what I call junk silver. 10th ounce silver coins, fractional. You want to break down an ounce? There it is. I wish throughout my life I had been collecting the junk silver, the constitutional that came through my hands and my pockets. I spend it as I need it. So I did actually at one time do that. And I spent it. I sold it and spent it. I needed it. And that's what it's for. There's Jin with the engine. Nope, that's Dixie. You barely see her with all that white. She's like a halo. Here's it. I got someone on my bed. Is that Gandalf? No, that's Ginger. Right there. The two girls. But anyhow, I just wanted to get on here and update knowledge about platinum because the only other platinum people that talk about the crap only put up a new show once every 3 months, and I think that's a bunch of crap. Ran out of paint and I'm too lazy, and I just don't want to buy even a quart just to go finish it. I just, I started doing other things, and no one's ever come in here, and I've never been on TV or on YouTube, and now it's there, and that's, basically that's it. I ran out of paint. It was extra paint for painting some other places, and I didn't like it. I did not like that at all. It was everywhere on the walls and everything. You can see right here, a little bit was on the wall, and right here, a little bit on the wall, and a little bit on the wall along here, and the roof. I was like, oh hell to the frell no. Chris, I got some. I got it's self bro. It's Match it. California Garden. It saves a lot of money and buys me silver in November with excess. I will paint it. It'll get to me enough. I'll be bothered by it enough one day. Just not today. I know, surprised. Ever since the economic ninja, found out I was going to the Vegas thing on several of the live streams I've been moderating on this channel because I'm off work, so I can hit his channel when he goes live. And he seems real interested in wanting to meet me and mentions it quite a bit. Same with Financial Prepper, Chris and his wife. And actually, Jack from Nobody Special Finance. Lots of people want to meet me. And I'm a 10th grade dropout, 30-year, 29-year iron worker, 2-time Army vet. Goes to show you, God bless America, you can be anything you want to be. Just work hard at it, stay fast. Hey, what's up, John Bethy? That could be it, Hung. I always stay positive, even though things are all real crappy. Like I was getting over 2 cracked ribs right now, and knee for the first time in 55 years. God, it's hurting me because of some shit that happened at work. Yeah, I was a moderator there, and then something liberal happened, and I was like, oh hell no. But that's a personal experience. He's a great channel. Like Jack was a good guy. Hey, Mickey. Yeah, that's what I say, Hung. Be yourself. Be you. Don't be fake. People see through that crap. Again, you guys have to watch the first 7 minutes because I'm not going to reiterate for the 4th time the first 7 minutes of information I gave that's on platinum. But I will tell you this for the new peoples, for the new peeps, Mickey, John, and Wealth of Nations. The IWCA predicts in 2024 platinum to be over $2,200 an ounce, which means it's going to double its price easy. So it's very feasible. Hey, what's up, Jake? It's very feasible that platinum could match gold's price within the next 2 years if gold doesn't skyrocket. And I don't think gold's going to skyrocket that high within the next 2 years. It might, it could, but I don't. I see platinum being the same price or higher than gold, and that's when I would take and do a whopper of a trade, platinum for silver, because you'll have double the impact as if you had bought gold and did a change of gold to silver. Yeah, I get a lot of the good people I steal all the good people from all the good financial channels. I chain them up, and I'm lasso them in and say, you come into Neil's channel because you guys are the badasses. I wish I had that power. It is a lot better deal. And if you do research, you will find out that the experts are saying that platinum's going to be, like I said, $2,250 by 2024. Gold's not going to be that much more, which means platinum's going to have one heck of a gain. Now, I'm not saying it's a long-term thing. Platinum's a short-term, and short-term meaning 2 to 3 year investment. But you can make some serious duckage in those 2 to 3 years if you buy in at the first part of those 2 to 3 years. I mean, you could take one platinum, ounce of platinum you buy now for $1,000, $1,100, and trade it for an ounce of gold. So that means you're getting half price gold ounce. How many ounces of platinum do you want? Or better yet, how many ounces of gold do you want? For every ounce of gold you want, buy an ounce of platinum. And then within 2 years, you'll have your ounce of gold from that ounce of platinum. It'll be a half price piece of gold. You'll have beat everybody. Oh man, dude, you're gonna be so freaking tickled to see the price of platinum in the next 12 months, Jake. It is going to skyrocket. It's gonna be 100% of what it is right now. It'll go up to 2,200 easy. Oh shit. Now all of this is barring a reset of prices. Of course, this is just going off of the natural flow, ebb and flow of the economy right now, not without some dramatic reset in price. In 30 to 35 years, platinum should be $20,000, $25,000 an ounce, because we're going to run out of it here on Earth, and we're going to have to go to the moon to mine it, and those expenses are going to have to be added on to the cost of it. So it's going to dramatically increase. And as you should well know, had you followed Neil's Han Dynasty, you know there's more platinum on the moon than there is on planet Earth. So once we start running low on planet Earth, the price is going to skyrocket because it's going to cost that much to go to the moon and mine it, and we need it. We need it for lots of there's so many items we need platinum for. It's almost as relevant as silver in your daily use item. Well, not daily use, but yeah, I guess daily use items. It makes stuff that makes your daily use items. Of platinum, by God, John, do it. Do it, man. It's dropping down to close to 1,000 right now, man. That would be, if you were to get that, man, that would, woo. Yeah, they'd be set, dude. They'd be set. Because like I said, man, how much does it cost to put someone up on the moon? Then they got to mine it. Then you got to refine it and send it back. How much is that an ounce? You know, right now, if an ounce coming out of the ground, digging it here on Earth, they say it's $1,000, $1,100, somewhere around there. So you got to go to the moon to do the same thing. 25, 30,000, easy. I do have the cat market. I do. I actually bought a chicken from Costco and fed the outside cats. Oh, no, I got both my girls right here. I have Dixie and Ginger. Let's see. There's Ginger, and Dixie's right above her. Where are my boys? Oh, wow. I have, who's that? That's Harley right there. And no, Gandalf, and that's Harley. And then that means that Shadow, my black kitty cat, is in the other room by the window. Those two guys are looking at birds right now. They're not even turning their heads looking to their dad. They're just straight up looking at birds. Cat house. You hear my dog? That was because of the siren. She's going, oh. Because there's outside that window, there's 3 dogs. Which Huckleberry was just diagnosed with cancer, so I need some prayers for my puppy Huckleberry. I'm giving him dichloroacetate according to the Vancouver College. DCA has cured cancer in animals, and I'm hoping it does because I'm giving it to him, but there's been no real research other than Vancouver College scientists doing research on it. And they did that like 10 or 12 years ago. And if you want to check out that video, just on YouTube, go to YouTube and put in Cure for Cancer found in Vancouver College, and you'll probably get the YouTube video that they made begging people to invest in research in DCA. It's an orphan drug. It's been around for like 90 years. Neil's Platinum and Feline Dynasty. That is what the Han Dynasty is. But if I call it the Han Dynasty, I can add or take away without changing the name. And I actually, there's like 12 cats, 13, 14 cats outside. I might have a new little baby if I can catch it. Looks like a Siamese cat. I just saw it last night. Little sucker. I'm gonna try catching. If any nothing else, just to get him adopted out, get him spayed, neutered, and adopted out. Well, what would you like to talk about ham radios for? Because I know nothing about ham radios. So sure, talk away. I couldn't tell you one way or another about that. Oh no, we'll have states. Just it'll change. Hell, we might have 56 states, John. If we take over Canada and take their provinces and make them states. I think it's Alberta or Quebec, one of the two, I don't recall exactly, already voted to join America. Yeah, and quite frankly, you know, and I'm not an advocate for this, but if we are in an economic war, then and Mexico joins BRICS, all those refugees walking 2,000 miles, being fed and watered by Mexican government to infiltrate our borders, is considered an act of war. So I wouldn't feel bad about taking that country over also, because if they're going to do that to us and try and economically kill us and murder 300 Americans a year by all the drugs that they're pushing through our country from the southern border, I'd vote to take them over personally if it was a choice. It's quite possible we could be four separate countries. I know. Here's something you guys don't know. We've been trying for years here in Northern California to break away from Southern California, and the name we came up with was Jeffersonian because we wanted to go back to a constitutional state. Did y'all know about that? Yeah. So you got conservatives in Northern California. As long as you have wealth, it doesn't matter the name of the country, the land that you own. So if your kids each have a roll of platinum in 30 years, you call it Crapville. They'll own half of it. Call it Suck Me Dash. They'll own half of it. Call it Cuba Duba. They'll own half of it. So it doesn't matter what the name is. It's going to look the same as it does now. A little bit of different government, but the wealthy people will still be in charge. They will pick the politicians. It's always that way. Always has been, probably always will be. Unless, there's a salvation thought. If we get smart and decide to run America like a company and make every taxpayer a shareholder, and then start mining the resources for the good of the country and not the good of the companies that pay the politicians to give them the paperwork they need to make the money off of our resources, that would be kick ass. Because then we'd be getting a check every month because there's $61 trillion of resources under our feet. And I would be more of an advocate for taking over Canada too, because they got shit those resources. The fact that they border the Arctic and laws have already been passed on who owns the Arctic, so we wouldn't go to war over it, and every country agreed to it. And what it basically is the Arctic's at the top. Every country that borders the Arctic all the way around, if you flatten it down on a map, they drew lines, percentages. How much percentage covered is that on the longitudinal cover of the Arctic? And that's how they divvied it up. America got some, Canada's got some, Greenland. That's why Trump wanted to buy Greenland from Holland, because Greenland's got some, and then Russia. And Russia has about 40% of it. And oddly enough, about 40% of the natural resources on this planet are in Antarctica. And I just did a live stream a couple days ago talking about the northern route and how that's going to squish China's deep ports that they're investing in now. It's going to totally bankrupt them. And the proof is in the pudding that America has 2 icebreakers. Russia has 37 and just grabbed old World War II and post-World War II deep water ports and airports that they had built there, and they're refurbishing them, along with building 2 new deep water ports and building like 3 or 4 more heavy icebreakers, all to open up the Northern Passage. If the Northern Passage gets opened up, shipping and cargo will save 30 to 40% if they take the Russian route rather than the Chinese route. So Russia's already sunk China, if China hasn't sunk itself. They're investing in all these countries for these deep water ports. They're going to own them for 100 years, and nothing's going to be shipped out of them. So they'll go bankrupt, and they'll go back to that country, and that country will be prosperous. So there's long-term investments in countries that have been bought out by China with their deep water ports. In about 20 years, they'll be wealthy because they'll own those deep water ports, if not less time. Sorry, I didn't mean to go off. But Russia's going to crush and has planned to crush China for decades. Everyone thinks they're buddies. I don't know why. They're two communist countries, and they're not the same type of communist country. That's like having America right next to Mexico. Then you get invaded by 7 million people. Well, Russia's right next to China, and they're both different communism types of governments. Totalitarianism governments right beside each other. You think they're going to get along? Yeah. And then you got India. India's already killing fucking Chinese army men, and vice versa. Yeah, that's what I was talking about, John. Northern California wanted to be break away from California and be called Jefferson or Jeffersonian. Jefferson or I think it was Jeffersonian. 100% wealth of nations. I grew up overseas too, and man, to be an American overseas in the 70s, dude, you were rocking the Casbah just because you were an American. Everyone wanted to be you. Now everyone wants to kill you. Yeah, I'm passionate about things I don't even know I'm passionate about until it strikes that nerve, and then I just start spewing out the facts. Man, I remember after getting kicked out of second grade for beating up my second grade teacher. She was a lesbian, and I was the only guy in her class, 13 kids, so all the rest were girls, oddly enough. So I had to go to Scotland, live with my grandparents, go to school. And just because I was American, everybody wanted to hang out with me. And I was only in third grade, man. It was like such an ego trip. Till the nuns got involved with those rulers on the back of the fingers. Boy, howdy. I'd rather go on vacation a week in Belize. And actually, a week's too short. I'd actually want to go down to Panama to meet up with James Anderson. To either pay him for the bet we made or to collect on it, one of the two, depending on how things turn out. He and I have an ongoing bet about which major bank's going to fail first. And we bet a taco. So whoever wins has to go see the other one and buy him a taco. So I'll be getting my passport because I have a feeling I'll have to go down to Panama and buy him a taco. See, the one thing they don't talk about China, Han, excuse me, is they had 220 million foreclosures in China. That's more than there is families in America. And you think we have a homeless problem here? I've seen videos over there where not only did they foreclose on the people, those people still owe them between 70 and 140,000 US dollar amount. I don't know what it is in yuan, to the CCP central bank. So the CCP has ran through 220 million families, taken all their money, and left them with an average of $100,000 debt to the central Chinese bank. How long do you think they're going to be able to get away with that? I did a report, if you watched my show from about a year and a half ago, it was a clear indicator that the Chinese housing industry was falling apart. Actually, I did several videos on it. One that I still find funny to this day is when they started to accept watermelons as down payments for houses. And I said in that video, not verbatim or quote, but something like, you can tell when a country's falling apart when they accept watermelons for down payments on houses. How do you even calculate that? Are you going to guarantee you're going to sell all the watermelons? I mean, there's some, China's going down. Vietnam now is a very cool place to do business. They're very American friendly now, John. Very American friendly. You know, Jake, there are actually groups out there that will help cover the expense of that. Check into it. Me, no. I'm too young for that. John, yes. John Bethy was there. They're actually good for boat building over actually Indonesia, but over in that area of the world. She played for being what it is now. I actually knew this guy. He married some Vietnamese chick, some village. She was from some village along some river, and he had a company that he'd set up at like festivals and events and sell things, whatever was popular at the time. You know, if there's like a Sinbad movie was out, he would have lots of Sinbad type swords. And what he would do was he would send pictures of shit that he wanted his wife's family village to make back to them, as far as big model boats that sell for like $300 here in the United States. He'd pay them $5. And that was a lot to them. And they would build these model boats and ship them to him, and he'd sell them at his little fairs and events and festivals and make a killing. So there is a good business, or there was. I don't know what it's like now. Yeah, I don't know anything about that, Chris. I just know I did do a report, one of the first 450 somewhere in there on that one. Thomas, were you over there? Christopher. Anyhow, anyone have any questions on platinum? Oh, here's some interesting news. Chris Marcus from Arcadia Economics actually watched one of my live streams and commented on it today. I thought that was pretty cool. So, hi, Chris, if you start watching this. There was, go to Veterans Affairs Department and ask them about nonprofits, about guys going back to Vietnam to get over issues, and they will probably lead you to a nonprofit that will pay for him to go and probably know that town. I don't know it's like K Sana San. They'd probably know about that because they're doing a real good job of getting MIA and KEI remains brought back. So they've been doing that for like 10 years. So they've got a good rapport with the locals and all the village marked out where they used to be and maps and all that stuff. So it should be very easy to find if you go that route, Jake. Why do I know so much? That's such weird shit. Yeah, my dad was a radio man on one of those river boats over there for a tour. He never talked about it. And it was before I was born. Yeah, one very fucked up thing about Vietnam is it wasn't a war. It was a police action that we took over from France that NATO started. NATO was our actually real enemy there. We were sold a bunch of lies. A lot of people died over a bunch of lies. And that's why now with YouTube, we need people out there telling the truth and hope like hell that YouTube doesn't cancel us out. No, actually, Wealth of Nations. I actually was in a declared war by Congress, and how I know that is because the only time the United States Army has a command sergeant major is during a time of declared war by Congress, and my operations were run underneath Command Sergeant Major Berghoff's office, and that was back in 1991. So we actually did declare Congress did declare war on them, and I don't think, although I would have to check on this, I don't think Korea was actually a war. I think it also was a police action that we took over from NATO or the UN. I just volunteered for shit because it was fun. I was just a expert field medic, uh, expert combat field medic actually, and I was going up for my 91 Bravo, shooting for my Charlie, which I was working up to command of responsibilities and gaining rank and all this crap. And so you volunteer for a lot of crap, and I volunteered for a lot of crap, and so that's how I got where I was. Yeah, I thought that was cool too, Chris. He actually twittered me and left me a message on Twitter. So he's a subscriber too, and Ninja's a subscriber, and Jack from Everybody's Special Finance is a subscriber, and Chris from Financial Prepper is a subscriber, and I think I got that guy. Oh man, there's a couple of YouTube guys that are subscribed to my channel. I don't know why. They must love platinum, and I know more about it than them or something. Yeah, okay, I didn't think so, Thomas. Yeah, I think the last declared war after it was like World War One, World War Two, and then the Gulf War. All the others were police actions through NATO or the UN. I'm not 100% sure on that, and that's why we didn't have rules of engagement to win. And that's when it started being profitable to go to war, because we were taking over police actions of NATO or the UN, and it cost a lot of money, and a lot of deals were made behind the curtains, a lot of money. For instance, I think back in the late 90s or early 2000, England actually paid off its World War II financial debt to America. That's something you need to ask yourself on this balanced budget. I've never heard anyone talk about payments we received for World War II going to pay off the national debt. Where did that money go? But I ask weird questions. Yeah, don't research World War II and what the English did to us, Jake. There was a lot of that general, the English general. I don't recall his name. He was a real dick. He cost thousands of Americans' lives just for his ego. And McCarthy went with it. Patton didn't. And that's why they demoted Patton and got him out of the area in World War II he was at. They moved him down to Africa. And that's where he had the Desert Fox Rommel and fought that area with the big red one and whatnot. But yeah, that fucking English general got a lot of Americans killed needlessly. But it does prove that England does. People do pay for wars. We just don't know who's getting the money and what they're doing with it. So Yeah, well, you might have ran across my dad there, John Bethy, because he was a riverboat radio man for one tour. He actually fucked up his whole career because he's an honest guy too, just kind of sort of like me. He was also an asshole, my dad that is. And he turned in a lieutenant for doing drugs in Vietnam, and the lieutenant's father was an admiral. And my father, for the last 13 years of his career, never got a promotion. So the first 7, he got 5 promotions. Last 13, he got 0 because he turned in an admiral's son for doing drugs in Vietnam. I think not doing, but the transporting him, wanting to bring him something to do. He, like I said, he was a radio man on the boat, so something the drugs and that the boat. He never talked about it. All I know is this is what I got. This is and you can't see it. You girls will love that. This side right here. Hold on, wait. This leg, yeah, this side right here, perfectly smooth legs. This side right here, I got hair, and it's the exact reverse on the other leg because I was behind an ATV when we were out in the desert and random mortars came in. We had our BDUs blazed up and we had our tennis shoes on. I didn't wear them damn fucking boots in the desert. Fuck that shit. So I got my legs sandblasted and it ripped all the hair and skin off, and the hair never grew back there. And it still took 23 years to get VA benefits. Not a lot, just enough. I still have to fight those fuckers. It's not worth it. That's a good one. Yeah. Yeah. Here's another thing about the national debt no one's telling you about that I will tell you about. And I don't know why anyone, I mean, look over here. Look over here. We still have like $2-3 trillion of unspent Coca-Cola money. I can't say that word because this is my show and I don't want to get red flagged. Beer virus money. 2 to 3 trillion beer virus money unspent. $31 trillion debt. Minus 3 trillion makes it 28 billion. No more debt ceiling talk, and we can balance our budget and go down from 28 trillion and we'd all be thriving. What the fuck's wrong with people? The problem with America is we never give money back. We don't spend. We just spend it. Or excuse me, Congress and Senate spends it, not the American people. Yeah, that's why we took. That's why we took it over. It was what was it? UN. Yeah, it was UN. It wasn't NATO. It was UN. What are you, Chris? No, Ukraine's not going to lead us anywhere. What the Ukraine's going to do is it's going to lead us to rounding up a bunch of politicians that are corrupt and have ties in Ukraine. That's what Ukraine's going to do. It's going to clean our house. If we get in a World War III over Ukraine, we need to go invest in rope and oak trees for local need. Because then people in charge right now are the ones that are needing that war to happen to cover up their illegal operations, in my personal opinion. I don't want to get flagged by YouTube. But I've seen paperwork too. Not everything makes it on CNN. Oh, you just don't know how rich. I did a show, John, on the day that the Ukraine government passed a law stating that they could sell national land and monuments and they didn't say who got the money. And then the next thing you know, a lot of land went up for sale. And I could almost guarantee you the politicians that our tax dollars are going to pay right now, today, made that money. Kind of sort of like, Nancy Pelosi and her husband with that train to nowhere. It's quite possible, Jake. It's quite possible, It's just, that's why I don't like discussing politics, because people don't have a memory for more than 5 minutes, it seems like. They want to go with the latest talking points to where you forget about the 17,000th talking point that happened a long time ago that's still relevant and valued to some of us. Hey, watch out for them gators, Thomas. I hear they come out at night, brother. I can say one thing that I should not be getting flagged on from YouTube, because I heard like 13 U.S. senators say this. The Biden family, with his 2-year-old granddaughter, made well in excess of $10 million for something that he did over there overseas. And I don't know why you'd pay a little 2-year-old a couple $100,000. It happens to me all the time, right? I'm sure your 2-year-olds get offered a couple $100,000 for whatever. Yeah, squirrel. It seems that way, John. Very short memory spans. I like saying this. I'm like John Silver. I've got a long memory. And that's actually how he got his name, of Long John Silver, because a threat he made saying he had a long memory. And people are like, ooh, that's Long Memory John Silver, or Long John Silver. Yes, they are. That's why I think the best way to run America would be to run it as a company with Americans as shareholders, and an equal stake in the outcome of the company. And everyone would want the company to profit. And you know what that could do? If we all had an equal say in making the American company profit, holy cow, people, we wouldn't be paying taxes, we'd be collecting revenue. Hey, William. Glad you stopped by, my friend. We need things to be less global, because when they're more global, there's more centralized control. And we've just seen how that works. And it doesn't work. It doesn't work. America is not the hotel for the world that the American people pay the hotel bill for. Exactly, Hong. If you see America as a company and operate as a company, like when I go to work as an iron worker and build something, I'd be making my company money, or the America money, because whatever I was be building would be gaining revenue for the company or the country, rather than for a small person or individual. William, don't come up here with logic and common sense, man. That shit don't work in America anymore. But you're 100% right. Yeah, we need to. Yeah, oops, wrong number. Yeah, that's the problem. See, people seem to think America provides a living. No, no. And it's not your right to get free anything. The only thing America provides is equal opportunity for a chance. And that means you got to work for it. And that's why typically the elderly have most of the shit. Because if you put 50 or 60 years into something, you better have rewards from it over someone who just started last week, even though they're jealous and want it anyhow. It's just how it is, you know. Fuck, everyone wants to be born with a silver spoon, gold spoon, or platinum spoon. 99% of us have to work for it. 95% of us don't work. We'd rather get free crap. And that's, it's just, it's a, somewhere we definitely lost our way. Shit, politicians pay more. Look at Nancy Pelosi, man. I never knew that you could become such a good stockbroker being a politician. But apparently there's some class they give you and you get. Oh, yeah, it's lawmaking class. It's no longer illegal to take insider trading information. Neil, you're stupid. And I do believe they changed that law. They actually have a $15 million lawsuit slush fund to pay off Congress's sexual harassment lawsuits. You and I pay that. Jake, my experience with ham radios is I've eaten ham before and I play the radio. If you put the two of them together, I don't know crap. I could possibly turn it on or plug it in if it needed to be plugged in. I have, and I don't even know if it's a ham radio. I did help my half brother's dad put up this big freaking antenna, like 30 foot. This was in the 80s, a 30-foot antenna on his house because he was some sort of he'd go in there and he'd talk to people in other parts of the world with his little clicker mic. I don't know if that's ham or not. Oh, speaking of jewelry, I'm glad someone mentioned that. This is the benefits of gardening. I was digging down about it. I just put some tomato plants in. I was digging down about a foot in the garden because I was going to augment the soil with some compost. Italian 925 silver. I found is about a half ounce worth of silver I found in my garden, in the ground. Isn't that cool? And I know you won't be able to see it, but right there it says Italy 925. So it's Italian silver. And because it's jewelry, it's 300% markup, so it's actually an ounce and a half worth. You just tell me my address. I'll believe you if it's yours, John. I mean, William. Yeah, I found it while digging in the garden, planting tomatoes, because I had some compost, and I always soften up the soil with a shovel, break it up about a foot and a half deep, so it's got good aeration and water drainage and whatnot. And then I add compost and mix it in, and I water it. And yeah, William, it's platinum, bro. It's platinum. It's mine. No, it's 925 silver. Yeah, it is cool. And here's something that people don't think about, but nowadays it actually might be worth it if you're a plumber and you go to a house with a septic tank and they have you clean it out. Take a metal detector, because I can guarantee you some kid ate some quarters back in the 60s and early 70s, and they were constitutional silver, and they're in that tank, that septic tank. Dude, I recall before we went to Italy, which means I was about 3 years old, which would put me at about 1971. We were in Pensacola, Florida, just at the house. And I heard my parents, I just recall bits of them talking about how someone took us off the silver standard or something. And I didn't know anything. I was like 3. So I every quarter, nickel, and dime I found laying around the house or that I could get out from my mom and dad, I ate, because at 3 years old, I thought if I stored it in my tummy and I needed it, I could get it later. So I know for a fact there's a lot of quarters, nickels, and dimes in that septic tank where I grew up. A lot of people lost their way. I was watching something last night on YouTube where they were showing people and telling them what each party stood for, and when it was a black couple was watching it, and it got to the point of Lincoln, and said, the Republican Party was started to abolish slavery, and a Democrat shot the president, and it gave the history of the Democratic Party and what they started and what they say they stand for, and if we just taught true history in school, most of our problems wouldn't be problems. We teach some bullshit. Roots comes along and it's a popular show, so let's just make it real history. Yeah, okay, sure, why the fuck not? Dude, Christopher, that is yes. I mean, I could just imagine walking down the interstate, how many rings you could find on the side of it, leaving or coming to Vegas. You son of a bitch, you had a fucking road. Why is that, William? Do you know why? I imagine actually underneath fishing piers would probably be a good place too to find lots of good stuff. Here's an interesting something for you, John Beffy. Uh, Trump's uncle, do some research on him. He put Herbert Walker Bush into the head of the CIA, and also pushed for him to be vice president and then president. Yeah, Trump's uncle. You want to know who the power was behind all those people that you just mentioned? Who was that? Bush and Nixon. Trump's uncle. Yeah, who was it? It was I think it was Jefferson. Got rid of the central banks of America and paid off the American debt, and he was the last president to do so. Yeah, I'm not wired correctly. I couldn't be a slave. I have too many issues to deal through. Anyone buy any platinum? Anyone buy any silver? Anyone buy a metal detector to go get gold for free? I need to do that. I need to buy a metal detector so I can go get some free gold. Free gold. I was talking to a gentleman is and how they're doing. If you've heard of San Francisco wanting to do reparations, uh, how they planned on paying for it was with the CDBC, and they're using the word reparations and $5 million to get as many African Americans to accept CDBC as money. FYI. Dude, what we've been told is truth. I have issues with because I studied on, I didn't study Buddhism and Hinduism. I studied on the history and religion and their belief system. And in those studies, they have lots of stories of guys living 35,000 years and a couple of stories of gods fighting each other and meteors coming down from the sky and blowing up, and the effects later on are people's hair falling out, nails falling out. Sounds like nuclear radiation. And they also have sites where it looks like that could happen. FYI. So, Western history doesn't tell anything about that. It starts with Greek shit. But I guess it depends on what part of the world you consider the world when you're reading the story about whatever it is you're reading the story on. Yeah, I don't know why he suspended that gold standard. One thing that interested me about this gold thing is the 1849 gold rush. It's going back to the 1849 gold rush. The federal government stopped the gold rush, but no one teaches that in history. They stopped it because there was too much gold and not enough currency. And if you research the economics, if you have too much gold, your financial money becomes worthless and it destroys your economy. So they stopped the gold rush, federalized the land. They know approximately how much gold is there, and now we don't have any gold. It's weird. It's just weird. And that's just in Northern California. Of course, we are opening up the second largest open pit gold mine in the world in Northern California. Hey, Brozilla, what's up? You're gonna have to jump back about an hour and 15 minutes to get the full 7-minute spew I did on what's new with platinum. But basically, by 2024, platinum will be twice the price it is now. So, a year and a half, buy some silver and some platinum. That's the basics. That's what you missed. Neil's selling platinum again, selling the idea of owning platinum and the reasons for it. Well, Jake, if you ever want to take a trip, we could go up Northern California, and I have a theory on how to metal detect or where to metal detect, where I don't think people have actually bothered metal detecting before because of the thought pattern of humans. Thank you for dropping by, Thomas. I do appreciate it. Like, share, and subscribe helps our algorithm. All that other good crap. Be kind, helpful, great. Buy some platinum, Thomas. Buy some platinum. Yeah, platinum, man. I don't see why anyone's not talking about it. And quite frankly, with the information I just gave you, where it's going to double in price within the next 24 months, according to IWAC or something, or CA or something like that. Why would Rick Rule say it's not a good investment? Why would Bill Holter say it's not a good investment when they're not telling you that gold's going to double in 24 months? Silver's not. They don't tell you silver's going to double in 24 months. But the IWCA says that by 2024, the end of 2024, platinum will be like 22.48 or something like that. I have a whole bunch of uh, Hot Wheels, like 150, 200 of them, still in the packages. To be in a relationship to last your whole lifetime, you have to have the understanding that you're not going to like each other at one point in time, and you have to get through it and not get divorced in a short period of time you don't like each other. Because you can't be with somebody for 40 or 50 years and not have 1 year or 2 bad years where you just hate each other because of some whatever, whether it be a physical change in your person as far as chemical change, which happens to the females, menopause. There's changes that happen that they're not responsible for their feelings or anything, or they change because of that. And the same thing happens to men. We go through changes in our life chemically to where for a year or two, we got to re-accept or re-challenge ourselves to who we are, what we want, whatever. So you got to be able to understand that you got to work through that stuff. And yeah, it is very personal, and you have to be strong-willed and committed to be able to make that work, in my opinion. Are you going to be there, Jake's Custom Car Parts, or get Jake Custom Parts, the Silver Symposium? Oh, sweet, Jake. I don't like any of my blood relatives. Heck, I like Jake better than I like my brother, and I've never met Jake. I've met my brother. And he's a Green Beret, retired Green Beret, piece of shit in my point of view. Not you, Jake. You're not a Green Beret, and you're not my brother. I was talking about my brother. Yeah, he typical psychology of a Green Beret. He's a mama's boy. He was the number one child. I was like a mistake on the Maryland beach. So he's like 3 years older and already thought that he was going to be the only child and was gifted everything, always first, always, given all the blah, blah, blah. Then I came along and he saw me as a threat, and it's been a dick ever since. Georgia's a cool spot, dude, if you're not along the coast with those hurricanes. Sweet. Well, I like drawing good people. It's nice to know that there's 2 members here today that have been married for 30 years. That shows that they're good people, man. You probably, I don't know, you might could go on a couple other shows and find that many people, but not many. Yeah, 30 years, man. I've been married to the iron for about that long. I'm ready to divorce it. Yeah, I'm definitely divorcing iron this year. So who all is going to that Silver Symposium? So I take it, let's see, Jake, 30 years, and Wealth of Nation, 30 years. So Wealth of Nations and Jake have to be in your late 40s, early 50s. $90, dude. I did the generic package, and I told him I'm bringing a tent because I'll sleep in the I'm going to sleep outside in a tent to save money. Yeah, pretty good guess on my part. No, I tell you what, though, if a couple people get together, most of the rooms are two people per room. I'm gonna get a room. So if you want, I was in the military. I've bunked with guys before, just not 2 guys per bed, and it's all good. If there's a third guy, we use the couch or a cot. I don't know yet. I haven't booked the hotel. I need to find out what hotel it's at. I actually do remember being told what hotel it's at. I think it's at Circus, but I'm not sure. But I'm gonna try and get a hotel room at the place it's at. Yeah, Ninja's going to be there. The one he's been talking, mentioning Neil, wanting to meet Neil at that one. Past 3 live streams he's done, he's mentioned it's going to be great to meet me for some reason, which is kind of cool, I guess. I'm just an iron worker. But I do have, what do I have? I have a TWIC card somewhere. Oh, I need to find that son of a bitch. To work at the refineries, we have to get this TWIC card. It's a security clearance through the Justice Department and everything else. And I've been told if I take that TWIC card to the airport, I can skip all the freaking security. Yes, he should be there, but don't quote me on that. But he should be there because, you know, all the silver, all the most of the guys, David Morgan's going to be there. I mean, I don't see why he wouldn't be there. I'll put it to you that way, other than his schedule won't allow it. I don't know who all the speakers are, but it's the biggest silver symposium yet. So whoever was at the last one probably add a few people. Yeah, Chris, no inflation indeed. Well, actually, with the hard economy, I imagine it would be relatively cheap for a hotel room. Probably 150 to probably get 150 a night, maybe. Yeah, raise the price of living, not the standard of it. But yeah, you know, guys, just stay in touch with me. Once I get back to work, one of the first things I'll be doing is prepaying for a room, and I'll make sure I get a pretty decent sized room in case anyone, you know, wants to go that doesn't have a room. I'll have a room. Good for Musk. Good for Musk. I hear microdosing LSD does about the same thing. Actually, no, I didn't. It does similar, but you're not hooked up to a network to where you can get all them. Dude, we're gonna have a freaking lot of Spocks running around who are able to be hacked like the Borg. That's what I see in my mind. A lot of people with a lot of knowledge, then all of a sudden, boom, Order 66 comes along. You know, from Star Wars clones when they turned against the Jedi. Order 66. It was a Neuralink thing too. If you ever watched, I mean, just saying. Yes, it is, Jake. Yes, it is, Jake. If I become a millionaire, I'll go a day early. Spock 101, exactly. The first version of it. Our attempt at being Vulcan. Nah, trust isn't a psychological event. It's an actual event. If you know you can't trust a son of a bitch, there's nothing psychological about it. You can't trust a son of a bitch. My opinion. Yeah, you're using those big words, William. You're confusing me. This expands my brain cells, gives it more oxygen, opens up the lungs and allows more oxygen into the blood, and stimulation occurs. People say it makes you stupider. How interesting. Getting more oxygen in every cell in your body, and you're stupider. I think that's psychological. Like right now, I'm stoned as hell. I'm here as thought. Probably does, William. Probably does emulate it. But you know, God put it down here for us, and it works wonders for me. So that's an interesting thought, huh, Honig? I gave up drinking when I came to California back in 1996. I do not drink. Now, after I leave California and retire as an iron worker, and I go to maybe a state where I feel comfortable and I'm actually comfortable where I'm living and I feel good about it enough to let my guard down and not have total freaking control of my body at all times in case any freak comes up on me, then I might have a drink. But out here, man, I've been attacked from behind too many times. If I was drunk at any one of those times, I would not be talking to you right now. All about California peeps, they're crazy, they're weird. Although I do know, I actually like amaretto sours. So when I leave California, probably first drink I'll have when I feel comfortable with not being 100% in control of myself will be that. But that's like from back in 1996, so it might have changed. I don't know. My taste buds might have changed. No, well, as far as that AI thing goes, who knows what it's going to do? It'll get shut down if it gets out of control. But a lot of people will be losing their jobs over it. And such is the evolution of life. I mean, as advancements. I mean, look at the auto industry. Look at Ford and his Model T. He invented the assembly line. That was a great thing. But look at the assembly line now. 1/10 the amount of humans. So when that happened to them and it automated, a lot of people thought it was going to be the end of the world too. Just as a similarity in possible outcomes. People will just change careers and it'll fit in as long as it doesn't get too far out of control. If I was going to do a whiskey Wealth of Nations, I would have to go back to my Scottish heritage and ask a relative back in Scotland what they drink. We actually used to get sips of whiskey before we went to bed when I was in 3rd grade in Scotland. Yeah, it was a Scotch in on ice cubes. They let it melt down and would take a nip of it. Well, then I'd probably drink that. Wealth of Nations. Hey, Honig, I quit in 1996. So I got you by about 19 years. And I quit because I came to California and I was too scared of the people and the diseases and everything else that California brings. Call your sponsor. Nah, I quit on my own. I didn't have a sponsor. Yeah, Hung, never touched it since then. And you guys are gonna think I'm weird. I gave up any chance of any relationship or even dating or going out with women. Not that I turned gay or anything like that. I totally went monk. I was very serious way back then about my kung fu, and I took my job and got here to California. And I was a young man, had an opportunity to live where all the greatest kung fu masters lived, the Bay Area, and I just dedicated myself to that for like 10 years. And after that, I got out of that, and I was like, started looking around, and because I was so disciplined, I was like, I don't care if Mary down the road has it. It's irrelevant. And I couldn't find anyone that I related with. Good one, John. You got me by a good 2 decades, 2.5 decades. Yeah, yeah, parties everywhere. I remember when I was drinking on the East Coast in Iron Worker, me and my connected partner, his name was Paul Anderson, not Anderson, Armstrong, Paul Armstrong. Uh, we go to there was this one Holiday Inn or Hilton or one of the two of those. Bar was on the bottom floor. It was on top. It was in one of the either North or South Carolina, and it was on top of a hill. And at the bottom of the hill, it had some volleyball courts with white sand, even though it wasn't nowhere near the beach, and all the lights were out and shit. So me and my connected partner got there, looked out, saw them. We're like, "Hey, you can turn the lights on that volleyball court and get us the ball?" And they're like, "Yeah, but no one's using it." And I was like, "Give us 10 minutes. We're gonna have half the people in this fucking hotel down there." And we used to make the party wherever we went. We got down there, they turned the lights on. I told the waitress, because they had these little jello shots on these trays, there's 30 of them. I said, how much per tray? She's like, they're $1 a piece. I said, here's $60, bring me 2 trays, set them right there. They'll be drunk soon. And then Paul and I took off our shirts and started fucking doing the volleyball. And 15 minutes, dude, there's like 30 girls there. And of course, if you get girls, you get twice as many guys. Next thing you know, there's like 90 people down there on 4 volleyball courts, all fucking loaded up. It was great. I used to say I quit drinking last night. I'm gonna start tonight. I used to be a real bad. There was this one time, and there's actually a video of this 1980 89 Miami Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills down in Miami football stadium. I was working for the security company because I was going to the Institute of Security and Technology, learn how to be a bodyguard and a security expert and bodyguard. And I got this job with this security company, and I was on the field right behind on the one side where the cheerleaders were, behind the goalpost, but off to the side. And I'm supposed to be looking at the crowd to make sure things are cool, whatnot. Cheerleaders are right there, so and the dude Kelly for the Buffalo Bills overthrew a pass, and the thing bounced right in front of me, and I was able to catch it off the bounce. And I looked up to the mega TV thing, and it was there, so I knew I was fired. I was like, oh shit, boss, definitely. I mean, 50,000 people saw me look in the wrong direction while on the job, and I did get fired. But I ended up partying with the defensive line of the Miami Dolphins, and I drank so much the night after. In the morning when I woke up, and I don't even know whose room it was, I had received some comments and found out that I was running down the hallway chasing the cheerleaders, and all I had on was a curtain. I had a curtain wrapped around me chasing the Miami Dolphins cheerleaders down the hallway at the 3rd floor of the Holiday Inn. uh, I don't remember a thing. I was too drunk, but I'm sure it was a good time. Sounded like it. The stories are great. Weed is a good thing. You can grow it yourself. It doesn't cost you money. In excess, you can sell and buy free silver. Get some silver with it. Yes, 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 yes. I used to also be known as a rummy. There was this bar when the titty bars closed. It opened at 2 a.m. and it closed at 6 a.m. And you just bring your own beer. I used to bring a gallon of rum. Of course, that's when I was dating titty dancers back in the day. I'd go pick them up and then we'd go party at the Night Owl. Oh, sweet, Jake. I actually didn't get it, the website from Ninja. I got it from Stacy Taylor, financial prepper, because I couldn't find it on Ninja's site. So I called up Stacy and she gave it to me. Yeah, It's all if you find peace with yourself. I don't know. Different personalities are different ways. The big hair, big hair of the 70s. Hey, what's his name? That chunky guy took over for Bob Barker with The Price is Right. Oh, trust me, I remember big hair. I was I joined the army. I quit school, joined the army, and I found out one of my childhood sweethearts didn't have a date to the prom. Her actual name was Michelle Hahn, Hawn. Mine's Neil Hahn, and her stepfather was a Green Beret. So there's like lots of relevant shit in our lives, and we should have been together, but it didn't work out. But I did take her to prom. She had big hair. So no one answered my question. Is anyone buying any platinum? I've been waiting to see on the chat here, and no one's said they bought any platinum except for me. I thought I did a better job with you guys. Buy platinum. Buy platinum. Sweet, Hong. I have 5 and I bought 10 yesterday. So I'm halfway there. I know I talked Ninja into buying 20 ounces, and I think a moderator. Well, yeah, it's half the price of gold, so you see why I say buy silver and platinum. It's poor man's metals, and you can get fractional. Like I said, I get 5 gram. I get bars of platinum, small bars, 5 gram, 10 gram. Oh wow, you are going back in time. Well, why not go back to the Gong Show or what was that show? Was it Tic Tac Toe, where they had those stars on top of each other and the X's and O's, and you ask them questions, and if you're right or wrong, I think it was Tic Tac Toe. $20,000 pyramid, yeah, that was an old one. Uh, wow, and I just thought of Sanford and Sons. You want to talk about a racist show? Put Sanford and Son on TV nowadays. Whoever puts it on TV will get sued for racism. You big dummy! Yeah, for real. Or what is that? Moving on up. Oh, with JJ. He's dynamite. Damn. I think it's moving on up. Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, well, Sanford and Sons. Yeah, Archie Bunker. Oh God, yeah. Talk about racist stuff. Good times. That's it. Yeah, good times. And the Jeffersons. Jeffersons was a good one. What that was the one that had the little black kid who was like, yeah, after 13 years, he was still looked the same. He was a little guy. He was just stayed little his whole life. What you talking about, Willis? What do you see? What you talking about, Willis? My name is JJ and I'm dynamite. Yeah, tall, skinny guy. And then you had Fat Albert. Remember Fat Albert? Here's one for you guys. You remember the Jim Croce show on PBS? Came on right after Sesame Street. He used to always sing that song, Archipelago. If I could save time in a bottle, The first thing that I'd want to do. How many licks does it take to get to the center of the Tootsie Pop? A 1, a 2, 3. That was back in the days where you could walk to the store and pick up a couple Coke bottles, not cans, bottles, get 15 cents for them, walk out with a couple packs of gum and a candy bar. The good old days when the dollar actually bought something. No, it was a return, because if you remember the commercials of the Indian on the horse with a tear coming down his eye, saying "trash is everywhere across my nation," they Coca-Cola and them started giving 5 cents back for turning in their bottles. Coins were silver back then too. Yes, mine too, bro. We'd go out. I was down in the Northwest Florida, man. Go to the weekend party spots on a Monday or Tuesday. You'd find cans and bottles. Mowing lawns. Yep. I did a lot of that. We actually did a lot of hurricane cleanup. Good money in that as a kid. Of course, you get a lot of ants too if you wait too long to do the cleanup. Ants move in quick on piles of trees and stuff that bushed up. Actually, last hurricane that went through Pensacola, Florida, wiped my childhood house away. It no longer exists. Caesar's Palace. Okay, yeah, Caesar's Palace. You see how much the price is. I'm going to find out real quick. And see. Oh, fuck. Dude. Dude. Holy crap, Jake. I'll buy 2 rooms, bro. At Caesar's Palace, we're talking. Like $150, man. That's not bad at all. That's not bad at all, Jake. $300 for 2 nights. I'll get the room. William Kaiser. You know, Jake, if you buy a ticket, Ninja said they're giving away 1 ounce of silver to everyone who shows up at that symposium. So the $90 you pay for the ticket, take $30 off because you get a piece of silver. And you have to stand a chance of winning a 10 ounce coin. Not like the first Silverfest with Chris and Arcadia Economics, where I won 30 ounces of silver in 4 hours. That was cool. Of course, I did take over hosting duties for about a half hour that night, so it kind of sort of was paid, I guess. Hollywood Squares, that's what it was. Hollywood Squares. I knew it was something square. Hollywood Squares. And then they had This Is Your Life. And what was that? The Newlywed Game. I doubt it's a silver eagle, Jake. It's probably a generic with Ninja's face on it. Well, that's an archaic saying, Wealth of Nations. Let's see what metals are doing. Somebody said something about metals are moving, so let's see here. We have gold up to 1955.03, up $2.30. Silver at 23 even, up 5 cents. Platinum down $1.30 to 139.13. And this is according to JM Bullion. Yeah. I'm not going to check on that one. What I will say is also in the first 7 minutes, when I did the platinum report, one thing I did add was the next, what whomever wrote these articles believes the next big metal to be is titanium. So, you might want to get it, because once one person starts talking about it, then two, then three, then the price starts going up. So you might want to get in on the ground floor. Just remember, Neil's on Dynasty said on May 25th or 6th. What day is it? 25th or 6th. I get off work. I forget what day it is. On Thursday, May 25th, Neil said, buy titanium. It looks like it's the next big thing in 5 or 10 years. Yeah, like I said, according to JM Bullion, it was 23 even. But that's probably what they're selling it for, because they're always a little more expensive. Yeah, I won't talk about it. Yeah, and it's also going to be big in the space industry. Luckily, in the 70s, I was a young child and I didn't get to experience that part of the 70s. So I do remember them. Actually, most of my time in the 70s, I was in Italy and Scotland. I don't think you can get titanium coins. Only titanium I found was in bars or rod form, long like rebar shaped form. Because I was actually looking at one, getting a couple as quarterstaffs. Because just imagine, instead of using wood, using titanium. Pete, what's up, my brother? Not only that, I believe they use titaniums in a new weapon that doesn't require anything other than dropping it from space. It's called a static weapon or something like that, where just the weight of the weapon and the speed of it hits, it's as big as a nuclear blast without any radiation. Yeah, I imagine it's hard to machine. You probably have to change the blades often there, Pete. Pete's a machinist, or had a machinist company where he made all kinds of cool stuff. It's quite possible. Yeah, lightning rods or rods of titanium coming from the sky. Thank you, John Biffy. Rod of the God. Okay, rod of the God. That's what it is. Rod. I was thinking rod of steel because I'm a steel worker. Rods of steel, baby. We're here to pump you up. Later on, Jake, make sure your wife's okay. Buy some more platinum. Talk to you later, brother. Your wife gives you too much shit, come back. I don't know. It's been going 2 hours. Might not be here too much longer. Always glad to have good friends stop by and waste their time with me. I wish y'all was here for the first 7 minutes. I always give the best information first, because no one comes here because they don't get the notification for a couple minutes, and I just instantly, I don't want to sit there and twiddle my thumbs on live, so I start giving my report. I've actually heard of CRS. Right on, P. First 7 minutes, I give all the information. After that, it's repeat and bullshit talk with the crowd, with the chat, with you guys. Hey, honey, thank you for staying up to almost 2 a.m. to be with us. You go get you some sleep. Sleep well. Dream of platinum. Have dreams of buying lots of platinum and being wealthier than crap when South Africa and Russia reevaluate and reset the price of platinum to what they want it to be to back their world reserve currency. Oh yeah, they still have Let's Make a Deal. I think that the young black guy does it with the door number 1, door number 2, door number 3. Man, back in the 70s, the cartoons they had would be considered terroristic nowadays. What the Roadrunner did to Coyote Fox. And then you had, who was that? Bugs Bunny and Yosemite Sam. Now Yosemite Sam would always hit the elephant with the 2x4. Wham! When I says whoa, I means whoa! Well, you guys just know that there are some popular YouTubers that'll be watching parts of this anyhow and reading your comments, I imagine. So everyone that speaks here will probably be getting to known by these people that come by and look at my show. For some reason, they like platinum, but they don't talk about it, which is cool. I'll talk about it. I've tried actually. Here's something for you. Yeah, I like it when Foghorn Leghorn would go hide, and then that little chicken hawk. I'm a chicken hawk, and you're a chicken. The real smart Einstein one. He'd like do some calculations and go dig somewhere where you knew Foghorn Leghorn wasn't. Then all of a sudden he'd dig up Foghorn Leghorn. He'd be like, boy, how'd you do that, boy? Hey, does anyone know a good place to go to trademark a slogan? One place I looked at wanted $1,100 to do it. I was like, so if you guys have any good suggestions that are half that price or better, I'd love to hear it. Or if any of y'all want to trademark a slogan for me, I'll pay you $500. I'm looking to trademark a slogan, and the companies that I've gone to so far want to charge over $1,000. Christopher, that's what I was asking if anyone knows anybody. USPTO. Okay, that's cool. Is it called out of the blue, John? Right on. Yeah, because I want to patent buy silver and platinum, not patent, trademark. Yes, slogans do have money value. You can't, without trademarking it. You can't put it on a shirt or a coffee mug or a hat. I wonder who owns Mega. They're making a lot of money. Plug it in my tea. You guys got to see this. Let me take this off. Get out of there. Sorry, didn't mean to drop you. My bed was made this morning. Are you going to say hello? Are you going to say hello? He was just looking outside, daydreaming about birds. It was cute the way he was sitting. I got to plug everything back in. I got this one cord. It takes this small screen and puts it on that big screen. Makes it very, very easy to see the chat and everything else. There we go. Everything plugged back in. Yes, this is kitty heaven here. You ought to let me take you outside. There's about 4 times that many outside. Yosemite Sam and Bugs Bunny. I said something about Yosemite Sam riding on the elephant when he was attacking us, and he had a them flag, and Bugs Bunny was in the castle with Yosemite had the us flag, and Bugs Bunny had the them flag, and Yosemite Sam would ride his war elephant and hit the door trying to bust down the castle, and he used 2x4 hit the elephant. When I says whoa, I means whoa. Animal abuse. You can't show that stuff anymore. Yeah, he has a Confederate general. Yeah, and Bugs Bunny was the Yankee. Them and we. Yeah. Okay, you know what I'm talking about. Them and we. Yeah, those were good ones. The Looney Tunes went to crap when they came up with the junior Looney Tunes, and they tried to make a new round of Looney Tunes for the young kids, and they weren't interested, and it went to shit, and so did the regular Looney Tunes because it was too violent. Are you taking off on us there, Christopher, or are you just thanking me for bringing up memories of good times we had as children? They were awesome cartoons, man. And how about that? The mouse that was actually a kangaroo in Tom and Jerry with the big dog and the little dog. Tom and Jerry and the kangaroo mouse. Kangaroo mouse would always beat the crap out of Tom, and he'd go running back to the big bulldog. Big bulldog would go look, and there'd be a little mouse. It'd be Jerry there, and he'd look at the. Yeah, it was great, man. I wish they still had those Saturday morning cartoons, or at least a channel that you could watch real cartoons, not this anime crap. Felix the cat. How about Marvin the Martian? Where's my plutonium 343? It was that Pluto, the dog Pluto, and Marvin the Martian. Yeah. Man, Bugs Bunny was the poop. I loved him. Yeah, Marvin the Martian.
Don't make me angry. You won't like me when I'm angry.
It was a bad rendition of his voice. My bad. Yeah, Scooby-Doo. What's up there, Harley? You gonna come up here? You gonna say hey to everybody? No? Okay. I wish I could remember a lot of those cartoons, other than just the Looney Tunes. What was there? Oh, Bugs Bunny. Oh, you see the tail? He just jumped up and clawed me in the back, using me as a backstop. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. The Jetsons. Here's George Jetson. Do, 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 do. Exit stage. How about taking a left at Albuquerque? And the abominable snowman holding Bugs Bunny saying, I'm going to love you and squeeze you and call you George. Get off of there. Get off. Get off. I do like that about this video. I can see my cats doing wrong things behind me. I don't have to look at them. They freak out. They're like, how the hell did he know I was doing that? Scrappy-Doo. Scooby and Scrappy-Doo. Oh, yeah. Quick Draw McGraw. That was Quick Draw McGraw was Yosemite Sam, wasn't it? What's up, Gandalf? What's up, Gandalf? Hanna-Barbera, yes. Dude, I have during one of my live streams, before one of them, I'll find them. I've got like 300 DVDs right here, double stacked. I've got about 20 DVDs of cartoons from the 1940s. The original Tom and Jerry's, they don't even look the same. The original Superman from late 40s. Original Popeye. There's this blonde cartoon character chick. I guess she was big in the 40s. I got one of her. I have a whole bunch of real old cartoon videos. They were $1 each at the store when the store was going out of, so I bought a whole bunch of them. So yeah, you'd like those, John. I am what I am, and that's all that I am. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. Boop, boop. Betty Boop. Yes, I've got Betty Boop. I've got Betty Boop on videos. The original. Black and white. And I wish I could find them fast, but there's such a mess in here. I might be able to. Hold on. These might be them. Some of them. Let's see here. I know you guys can't see it, but you can see the pictures. Old pirates. This is Captain Kidd, Adventures of Long John Silver. They're 1950s versions. And then White Fang. You guys remember White Fang? Daniel Boone. Yeah, can't forget Daniel Boone. And who could forget Karate Warriors? I didn't find the cartoons. These were the first ones that I found. Oh, I love the original Pink Panther, dude. Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. Treasure Island's a good movie. Let's see if I can't find them. I can't find it right now. But I do have a bunch of old cartoon videos. I'll find them before the next live stream. They're cool. Just the graphics on them are pretty cool. The Rifleman was good. Check Wagon. Yeah, that was those were good commercials. You guys remember that old commercial about trash where it had the Indian on the horse with a tear in his eye? The Virginian was good as well. I don't recall Banana Splits. How about the Pinkertons? That was a Western. Yeah, you remember it, Brazil? Cool. Sorry, I'm fixing some tea here. The Monkees. Hell yeah, man. The Monkees were a badass band, dude. How about the original Kojak with the lollipop and bald hair? Liquid Gold. 3 pounds of honey. I got 5 of these. Liquid Gold. Oh, Wild Kingdom was awesome, Christopher Big. I loved Wild Kingdom. Matter of fact, I did a lot of my book reports on silverback gorillas because of Wild Kingdom. Telly Savalas. Yeah. Those are old commercials, William. Yeah, Kojak. How about Western World? You guys remember that movie? Had Yul Brynner, I think it was, that bald actor who died of cancer, of cigarette cancer. He died in the early 80s, I think. He did Western World. Yul Brynner. It was Yul Brynner. Yeah. He was a good actor. He did the King and I think, as well. He was well known for that. Those were the days, man. They don't make TV shows like they used to, that's for sure. As a matter of fact, I'd like to mention this to you guys. When you're watching some YouTube videos, see if you notice this. The person's talking, right? You see when I'm talking, all this moves here as I'm talking, and it happens with every human being when they talk. Their side of the mouth moves. I've noticed 2 videos where the person was talking, but their facial expressions didn't move. None of this moved. They were just like talking. And I swear to God, it was a freaking AI generated person. But keep your eye out for that. Let me know what you think on the next live stream. because I think they're already using AI to make humans on television shit. Because I was looking at that, I was like, how the hell's that guy talking? Because I read lips and I know human motions, how they move and how your jaw moves and everything. And 2 videos I saw, it didn't work it didn't work like normal. I was like, is that artificial intelligence they got going there? And I think it was. Max Headroom. How about the $6 million man? Dude, if he was around today, he wouldn't get one arm for $6 million. Back then, he got a whole body. John. I don't search for none of that crazy shit, William. I had too much other boring, mundane stuff to research. yeah. Oh, come on, man. Only 6 million? Like I said, it won't even buy him a bionic arm. Yeah, $6 trillion man. Now, for real. Yeah, that's when $1 million would buy you something. Nowadays, $1 million to get you a candy bar and a fucking Starbucks. Yogi Boo Boo, what's up, Boo Boo? Steve Austin. Oh, who was that? Charlie's Angels. Dude, you know who watched that? Every guy on this chat watched Charlie's Angels. The original from the 70s. Because back then, showing a little bit of ankle was hot. Farrah Fawcett Major, you got it, buddy. Bionic Woman. Have you seen Heavy Metal, the cartoon movie? Talk about some heavy crap. William, it's good. It's got a lot of rock and roll playing and stuff. Yeah, I think about 1 million kids did Wealth of Nations. The A Team with Mr. A. What you talking about? No, that's Willis. What was Mr. T? What was his phrase? I know he carried all that gold. All that gold. Yeah, I bet everyone liked the A Team. I pity the fool. You got it, William. I pity the fool that messes with me. Oh, sweet, Christopher. Yeah, the Angels changed several times. That figures of the Eagles right after wrote Hotel California, huh? B.A. Baracus. Yeah, man, he had like 10 pounds of gold around his neck. Nowadays, he walks through the hood with that on. He get jumped. Chips. That was a good one. But now, yeah, Dallas, Dukes of Hazzard. And let's see, what was Simon and Simon and Heart to Heart, as far as for like private investigator shows. That's messed up of Mr. T, William. Airwolf was good along with Knight Rider. Cheryl Ladd was hot. Wealth of Nations. Magnum PI was good. I actually like the new one. I'm rewatching the old one occasionally now. Hogan's Heroes was badass. I liked Hogan's Heroes. Funny as hell. And then the Rat Patrol. Rat Patrol was pretty good. I don't remember Mandible. Street Hawk, I remember. Magnum PI and Hogan's Heroes, I remember. MASH, how could you forget MASH? That show produced, I mean, Alan Alda, you know how big he got off of that show? Because of that show, Alan Alda became the big star that he was. Believe it or not, with the love I have for all animals, I cannot recall that one, Brazil. Although that sounds like a kick-ass power to have, I'd love to do that. Oh, sweet, John. What was that? Flipper was good. What was that one with the guy who had the bear as a friend? It was a big guy, had a beard, and had a bear that was in the sitcom with him. Benji was good. Yogi and Boo Boo. Yeah, back then Marvel Comics was big, not like nowadays where you have Universal. Although it was around, they weren't as big, and neither was Stan Lee at the time. Bearded dude with a beard, and there was a grizzly bear that was on. It was a sitcom, not a sitcom, but it was a 30-minute show in the 70s. The guy had a beard. Hey, you take care, Pete. Don't drink too much tea. I'm making some tea right now myself. The guy he was real big, had a beard, long blondish brown hair, and I don't think it was called Gentle Ben, but that was the bear's name maybe. But the actual actor got busted for cocaine, but it was a good show. Sorry, got my tea going. It's so nice to take some time off work, I tell you what. I love taking this time off work. As I get older, I find I work a week, I'll take a week off. Grizzly Adams. Thank you, Pete the Scott Squatch. Grizzly Adams. Yes, Wealth of Nations. Grizzly Adams was the show with the bearded dude. That bear was very lovable. I would love to have played with that bear. Of course, I got to play with big kitty cats, so I guess I'm just as privileged. I wouldn't have, there was a bear I could have played with, but he was too old and I didn't want to make the time. Yeah, I got to play with she's about a 600-pound kitty cat named Misha. She had just given birth at the Mobile Zoo to Nadia and Anna, the only two Siberians at the time in the turn of the millennium who had been born in captivity. Their names were Nadia and Anna. Fran was their owner, and for about 6 months, I got to play with them learn how to train them and stuff. It was kind of fun. Wild Wild West was a good show. There's lots of good slap humor. That's Gandalf. Is that Gandalf? Yep, that's Gandalf. That's Gandalf right there. He sees one of his friends outside. No, I don't remember the Tiger's Revenge. I do remember Wild Wild West. And in case you guys don't know, any of the pictures, like that picture there, I used to be for about a year as an ironworker as well as a professional photographer. I got paid to take pictures. So any of the pictures that you see, I took. Like this one here is kind of a cool one. Might have to turn the light on for you guys to see it better. If you take a real good close look right there, you see that's me upside down in the reflection of the drop off of the apple, taking a picture of the apple, but that's me upside down taking the picture. I thought that was cool as shit. So I got lots of actually, hell, it doesn't matter, does it? Yeah, it does. All right, I'll turn the lights back off. That's a little better. No, in the 80s we had Rambo. Yeah, probably did. I remember Rambo from the 80s. Yeah. I pee freely, huh? I don't even know it was big back then. I know back in 1985, I was on the Army boxing team, got a silver medal at Fort Jackson, South Carolina for the 135 and 142 featherweight division. Silver medalist right here. Yeah, baby. I'm still fast. Jean-Claude Van Damme. Yeah, he's a good actor. Pretty good at karate. Although I don't like leaving the ground. That I found to be very detrimental to your health. Most people don't think about fighting, but it is. It's very detrimental. If you turn your back or leave the ground, don't fight a real fighter. You'll get fucked up. Yeah, unless you're fast foot Wallace or as fast as fast foot Wallace, don't ever throw a kick. Well, let me rephrase that. You can do what you want. Most people don't know shit about fighting, but if you come across a real fighter and you throw a kick higher than the knees, your other leg's probably going to be broke and you're going to be crying. Yeah, there's a platinum squeeze going on. No one's talking about, and on top of the platinum squeeze, I've already told you guys, South Africa's having power issues, and the mines have cut production by 15%. So they're not getting deliveries to these sovereign mints to make as many of the specialty platinum coins. So there is a platinum squeeze going on. One day people will realize it and the price will follow, but they're paying attention to other things right now. But those of us that are smart are buying a lot of it right now, whatever we can get, whether it's Britannias or Graham bars whatever, because there is actually a silver squeeze going on. The squeeze was initiated by the country of South Africa by not doing infrastructure repair on their power plants for years, and now it's inefficient as hell and doesn't run all the time, and they can't provide power to the mines. So thanks to South Africa, the country, there is a platinum squeeze going on just by the mere fact that they're not mining as much. As a matter of fact, at the beginning of this video, and I think I can pull this back up, see if I can't give you a rerun. And I think I might be able to. It's going to take a little bit. Let's see here. I think there's like almost a 1 million ounce shortage. Close. I think it's 980,000 ounces of platinum are going to be pulled out of the ground, less this year than last year, and the increase in industrial demand is 12 to 15%. So they're going to have they create 170 tons. All the platinum mines, the 5 big ones, the Russia and South Africa, produce 170 tons. Convert that to ounces. 1 million ounces. They're going to have less production this year because of power problems. So let me ask you, platinum shortage directly impact the bullion market? Yeah, so they've already announced it. No one's picking up on the news. Neil's the only one talking about it. There is a platinum squeeze going on right now. No one's taking advantage of it. The price is going to jump like a son of a gun. I'll be telling you, hey, last year I did a show on platinum saying there's a platinum squeeze on and no one wanted to know. I'm telling you. It's like the silver squeeze minus 90% of the people. Because that's how less there is of that metal. Yes, one screw up and it's off to the races. The only problem with that, my friend, is unlike what happened with the nickel, where they stopped the share prices. They said stop. Well, America doesn't own the platinum market. BRICS countries do. And if that happens, the BRICS countries are going to profit big time, and they don't give a shit. They'll let it run. That's the difference between nickel and platinum. Who owns it? We're somehow setting the price, but BRICS countries own it. 90%, 93% of the platinum created on this planet, South Africa, Russia, and then Zimbabwe, which is South African Impala mines. So they're after South Africa as well. And then number 4 is Canada, and they produce 14,000 ounces. 14,000 ounces out of 170 tons produced yearly. So their market share is like 1%, and they're the 4th largest. BRICS countries own platinum. They're not going to stop the price like this weak Americans do when one of our friends loses $1 billion. Oh, well. They run their country. That's why I say, when you're looking at economics now, what's different now over the last time, whatever. Last time BRICS wasn't around wanting the world reserve currency, and China intentionally invited South Africa into BRIC, because it was BRIC, Brazil, Russia, India, China. China invited South Africa in 2010. The statement that China used for the invitation, when asked why did they invite South Africa in, China said because of their unique resources, and they stated gold, diamonds, and platinum. Gold is not unique to South Africa. Diamonds are not unique to South Africa. Yes, they have them, but so do Canada and America. So it's not unique to South Africa. The only unique resource to South Africa of diamonds, gold, and platinum is platinum. So the only reason China invited South Africa into BRIC, making it BRICS, is because they had platinum. Then advance the clock from 2010, when they got invited to BRIC to make it BRICS, to now. They want to start a world reserve currency and then base it off commodities. Why did China invite them into BRICS again? Because they're a unique commodity of platinum. Now they're saying they're going to come up with a commodities-based money. Does it take a genius to think they're going to add platinum just because the Westerners aren't saying that? Westerners also, hell, Rick Rule and Bill Holter say, oh, well, platinum's not money. That's what Russia says it is, and they're in BRICS. So they have a different point of view, and they control it. And they're going to control the world reserve currency, which means they control the narrative. So why are you listening to Americans again? Just saying. Another perspective to look at investment in platinum. Sorry, I didn't catch up with the chat. I'll get back to it. Oh, yeah, no, it's 30 times smaller market than gold. So it's a very easy squeezable market. Rosilla, dude, that is my wish. And rhodium is a platinum group metals as well. So if platinum does what rhodium did, it'll be 13, 14, 15. No, actually, because rhodium started at $300 and jumped up to 16,000. So platinum could be like $22,000, $23,000 if it does pulls the rhodium. Yeah, buy some platinum. BRICS countries own it all. And they want to start a world reserve currency. We're in an economic war. Hell, there's 3 differences from last time to this time. John, I told you so. Yeah, I don't want to say that. That's why I started early, and I started this channel to scream at people to buy platinum, because this time it is different. I don't know the time scale. I ain't gonna tell you weeks, months, years. It's gonna happen. Oh no, I will tell you years, because the IWCA or whoever they are, the international whatever, they say by 2024 platinum will be $2,400 plus or $2,200 plus per ounce in a year and a half. I'll tell you that because I have the paperwork, or not paperwork, but I read it online from one of these world agencies that does predictions. So have they told you gold's going to double by 2024? Have they told you silver's going to double by 2024? They've told me, I read it to you at the beginning of the show, platinum's going to more than double by 2024. What do you want to invest in? Buy platinum. Look at the platinum silver ratio right now. It's 44.5 to 1. If platinum doubles, that'll put it at almost 90 to 1. Gold to silver is only 84 to 1, so it's a better play, especially if you paid half price than the gold. So it's actually 180 to 1 for the price that you paid for it. The value there is just astronomical. Nickels. God damn, this thing's heavy. Those are my nickels. That's about fucking 25 pounds of nickels, man. That shit's heavy. I stack nickels too. No, William, I would not say sell my $12,000 an ounce platinum and buy gold. I'd buy silver, because the first thing it's going to run. And see, this is the dynamics. This is why they say don't invest in platinum. But it's different this time. It's the same as similar to 2008 when platinum doubled, but it's different in the fact of this ain't 2008. This is a lot later, and the need and use case for silver has risen, and the supply is being diminished because of power issues. So there's several other factors, but platinum's going to run first, then gold and silver. You run platinum, you run gold, you run silver, or you run your platinum, trade it for silver, fuck gold. So that's what I'm going to do. I don't care for gold. I really don't care for gold. I mean, if I'm going to buy an ounce of gold, I'll buy a metal detector for $2,000, and I'll get an ounce of gold every month for free by going up north 2 hours. Why would I spend $2,000 on an ounce when I could buy a piece of equipment that could guarantee me more than that every year? I just can't justify buying gold. There's too much of it in the ground everywhere, almost every state. Rosilla Platinum is the steal of a lifetime right now. It's going to be a quick play, but those who keep up with the market, you're going to make a lot. And if you don't, it's a good price if you want to buy and hold for the future too. Yes, it's a good price. And if you got it like 800-900, it's a good price. When the crash comes, it might drop back down to there. Sure, won't stay there for long at all. But it is going to go up to 2,200 minimum. And if more people find out about the platinum squeeze, 34 to 4,400. Then you trade 1 ounce of gold of platinum for 1 ounce of gold and 100 ounces of silver, all for $1,100. Now you're winning. Now you're in the group of people who he lost the least. You'll be in that group. Yes, they do. Military needs platinum, yes. Dudes, please, just I'm 10th grade. I dropped out of 10th grade. I've done my own research. As I'm reading shit about one thing, I write down, hey, that's interesting, research that. Hey, that's interesting, research that. So in one article, I'll get 3 things to research. And if you start looking at things like that and doing the research yourself, you'll be freaking amazed at how easy it is to control your future finances. I'm poor, man. I'm living almost hand to mouth. Whatever. A lot of people are better off than me. You could totally take advantage of this. And if you take advantage of it, you can turn around after you've taken advantage of it and made your lots of money. You can be kind, helpful, and grateful to others and help them. And that's how I benefit. I mean, like I said, I'm getting mine. This is 5. I'm getting 10 more grams coming. Hopefully before the shit hits the fan, I'll have 1 ounce. That'll be more than enough for me. The best investment, William, you will ever make is in yourself. And the best investment in yourself you can make is the gaining of knowledge, because knowledge is power. If you can sit down and start talking to people just willy-nilly out and about, and they think you're intelligent because of what you know, you'll start drawing people in that are intelligent because they'll want to hear what you have to say. And then the next thing you know, you're having intellectual conversations with people that are as smart or smarter than you. And then you learn more. Just by wanting to learn, you learn more. And then you start hanging out with these smarter people and you start getting knowledge that they have and insight that they have to investment possibilities. Or you might be able to see an investment possibility that they don't because they came from a different genre to get to where they are. You never know until you invest in yourself and give it a shot. And you'll be amazed. Yes, they take your ID in California, Christopher, and they tax the fuck out of you unless you spend $1,500. We live in California out here. Our governor, in my personal opinion, without having any evidence, and this is only my personal opinion, and I don't want to get straight from YouTube, he's a criminal. When the beer virus first started, gentlemen on death row were getting unemployment benefits. How does someone who hasn't worked in years get unemployment benefits when, if I haven't worked in a year and a half, I don't get them? But yet these gentlemen are in jail on death row, and they start getting full unemployment benefits. Not only that, a gang in Romania got over 1.5 billion of unemployment from California. No one's gone to jail yet. You know, it took me 4 months to get my unemployment check, and I actually worked for it. Next subject, please. Yeah, California is corrupt, big time. That's why every time I hear in the news something about Romania, there's a bunch of fucking thieves over there. There's a big old gang of thieves over there. They stole $1 billion+ from California unemployment. No, they didn't steal it. Someone from the California Unemployment Agency let them have it. See it as you will. That's what happened. Several $1 billion went to Romania and death row inmates from the unemployment department. How the hell does that happen? During a pandemic at that. Oh, we dropped all the rules. Yeah, I should say so. How well in advance was this planned? People from halfway around the world could take advantage of it by billions. But anyhow, next. I know too much. You know it's illegal to have a garden unless you register it with the Food and Drug Administration and give them clear and unfettered access to your garden 24 hours a day. Obama passed that law. So if you grow a tomato plant, you're in violation of federal law, which makes you a felon. I get you some more food. All right, guys, I gotta go. My dogs are asking for dinner. I don't know if you can see her. That's my Ridgeback. She's actually, you can't see her. Can't see her. She's right here. Too much light coming in the window. Thank you, William. Thank you, Christopher. Thank you, Brozilla. Everybody. Yes, sir. You have to register your garden. It's a law that Obama passed. It was one of those laws that we had to pass. We have to pass it before we read it. You remember that one? Read it. It's amazing what laws they passed. Yes, you have to register your garden, or else you're a felon, and you have to give unfettered access to the Food and Drug Administration. Get in there and check your garden. You guys have a great night. Please, if you disbelieve it or think anything I say is weird, strange, or unusual, research it. Please. I love having intellectual conversations with people. I love people when they challenge me, because then we learn together. And learning is knowledge, and knowledge is power. The more you learn, the more you earn. These are all cool sayings, and they work. God bless America. Take care of yourselves. Be safe. Watch what you do. Make wise decisions. Be kind, helpful, grateful. And God bless America and everyone here. Buy some silver and some platinum. Peace out.